What's up, YouTube? I hope you're enjoying your day today. If you could do me a favor, hit that like, hit the subscribe to stay notified when you hit that bell as well. Drop a comment below about what we're talking about. Gonna be a quick one today. I need to talk about being a teacher again. The CDC says vaccinated teachers and students do not need to wear masks inside school buildings. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said on Friday that fully vaccinated teachers and students do not need to wear masks inside school buildings, but stopped short of calling for vaccination requirements for teachers and eligible children. The health officials still advise, however, that unvaccinated teachers and students wear masks indoors. These changes, as the Associated Press reports, come as the U.S. is witnessing a decline in COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths. I want to see other people's take. On this. See, I was going to talk about this too. Okay. I guess we're naming this what Twitter discourse on the CDC. Okay. Let me give you my take, and then we'll react to that dumb shit we just saw. Okay. As a teacher, I don't know if you want to call me a former teacher because I'm applying to places now. I'll see if I can get back into the classroom this year. I have noticed that when it comes to schools, every sector of I want to say our social system for some reason does not allow anyone to actually give schools a plan on what to do in the absolute worst case scenario, such as shutting down schools, such as health advisory, and even I want to say not even curriculum, because like that comes from the top down, but like even curriculum, like there are barely any guides on anything. Faculty and administration usually just have to figure it out themselves. And when it came to this pandemic, I did a whole piece already that you could find us a long time ago. It was when I used to do like full recaps of just like little tiny news segments and things. I miss those days. I used to be a little Philip DeFranco. I'd be like news and things that mattered more to me. They just suck at like actually helping us do anything. So you might be wondering, to what degree, Marquise? What might you mean? Like, if all of a sudden every teacher needs a stable internet connection at home, don't you think you should provide that? If even better, if all students need some type of data or internet connection, do you think it's fair that like there were no stipends for the first couple months of the pandemic for like people to afford that? What if they was being stretched thin as was? And you need good connection, especially because everybody going to be using it. So you can't get no cheap shit and be at the bottom of the line when the data caps start rolling in. If everybody's online, you need to upgrade your infrastructure for internet to handle more connections. Quite literally, the entire world online at once. That's going to cause some problems. Oh, we could never expect that. Then why don't you prepare for, like, if you're going to be billion-dollar corporations, why don't you prepare for the absolute most usage ever? Oh, because then we would need more money and we'd have to raise prices. Oh, so you could hire more people to do more things? Keep the margins by just hiring more people and making more money since everybody's going to be using the service anyway? And if you're going to be charging people more money, pay you the people that work for you more money. But instead, these people raking in profits. Oh, we've never seen profits like this before in our life. Our stock is exploding. You've got to get in on this energy company. It's so amazing. And it's like, you depress me. You depress me, sir. Oh my God, you depress me. It was these dumbass arguments about like teachers being heroes. I remember the whole thing with, oh, the teacher, you're my hero. You're my hero. We love you. We can't believe you did this for us. Yay. Teachers still keeping our kids learning. Then after a while, it was like, oh, teachers just want to work from home because they're already lazy. Like, yo, y'all really switched up on a lot of people very fucking quickly. Y'all switched up on people very, very quickly. And I am not gonna forget that. Like, I'm not gonna forget that, like, the mass majority was like essential workers should be paid more. Then the pandemic started to wind, like, even in the smallest direction downward, and immediately people were like, "Oh, if you want higher wages, just get a better job." Yo, y'all flipped the conversation so quickly, and I don't even want to get onto the idea that like half of that shit was bots or half of that shit was fucking just trolls or people trying to get a rise out of people. Like, that was a real, y'all really had that. Like, y'all really was yeah, and employers telling people nobody wants to work because of unemployment insurance. Like, if I make more money someplace else, wouldn't I take the more money? Nobody wants to work. Matter of fact, yeah, I've heard so many people phrase this argument like, give people better wages, give people more health care, give people this and that. Like, no, I really want you to pay attention to that sentence and this counter argument. Aren't I supposed to chase the biggest bag? How can you argue simultaneously, oh, if you want better, if you want a better, if you want more money, just get a better job? If somebody's giving out money that's better than the job I'm making, wouldn't that be the same thing? Oh, you're just lazy, but I make more money than you. If I'm an investment trader and I'm sitting here just clicking buttons for 8 hours and I'm making more money than you, am I still lazy? If the government giving me money and I'm still sitting here clicking buttons, I'm still better than you. Matter of fact, why do you still work at the job you have? It's a pride thing? Well, that's personal. Oh, but that unemployment ain't gonna be there forever. Exactly. So let me collect the bag now, and then when it's over, I'll go back to work. What if there was some magical entity that was like, I'm gonna pay everyone's salaries to match what they should be making? Just say that. Everybody who you should be making, you make $15 an hour now, you should be making $33 an hour. I'm gonna pay the difference per hour. Okay, I guess I'm listening to that guy. And if he starts making decisions and he tells us all to go home, are you calling me lazy for like taking the money and getting an off day? Like, are sick days lazy to you? Should you never call out? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all in this work ethic where you're supposed to toil and kill your bodies day in and day out, and then somebody gives you a better offer and you say because I'm doing less for that offer, I'm morally wrong? Do we not live in a place where literally more money means you're winning the game? Are you telling me to sacrifice more money to make you happy? Oh my God, I didn't even want to go in that direction, but holy shit. So back to teachers, like, they're just being lazy. They don't want to go teach in a building. It's like, did you forget the virus? Did you not forget that many of us, if not the majority of us, have been doing this for a set period of time? Do you think that we don't want to go back into the classroom? Do you think that this situation online is being handled well enough for us to be able to do you think that this is easy? I just lined out 40 problems with just the thought of even thinking that. But in reality's sake, do you think this is easy? Do you think, oh, kids aren't learn better when they're in person? Ay, laddie, you don't say. Maybe it's because we never prepped them to learn online. So imagine how people who can't go into classes, can't be wheeled in a wheelchair, need to be on a dialysis machine or some shit, and they got to learn online. Can you imagine them? But you wasn't saying nothing about that 3 years ago. So what the fuck, yo? Like, your position on jobs, I mean, this is supposed to be about teachers, but your position on jobs is the same as the CDC's worryings of like the care factor for teachers. Y'all both don't give a shit. Like, you really live in this warp circle world of everything has to be about me, and how I view the world. I can't even put your ideas up on the conversational panel because admitting that like you had a point would make everything pointless. Can I help you? Do you need assistance, my good friend? Are you okay? Clearly you are not okay. Which leads me to this. The nation's top public health agency is not advising schools to require shots for teachers and vaccine-eligible kids, and is not offering guidance on how teachers can know which students are vaccinated or how parents will know which teachers are immunized. In other words, if you wear a mask, you're effectively telling people you're unvaccinated. If you don't wear a mask, you're telling people you're vaccinated. I wonder how people who are against masks and against vaccinations could blend into the crowd. With that being said, you know that there is a parallel between the duality of getting the vaccine and still getting COVID. So, like, even though we have proof that the vaccine slows the spread, now vaccinated people can pass on the not knowledgeable COVID to unvaccinated people who then will spread it harder because they're not vaccinated and possibly spread it to people who, do you see where like the fear mongering around vaccines caused a problem? Oh, it's my right. I'm allowed to do what I want to do. Now you are the variable. Like, I hate that fucking meme where it's like, oh, they didn't test out the vaccine. Bro, you are the test. LMAO. No, actually, unvaccinated people are the test. You are becoming the science experiment. You are not the control group. You are the variable. Because if we're trying to mix and vaccinate as many people as possible and then mix them in with unvaccinated people, the odds are out of that group of unvaccinated people, those will be the people who die. So you want to reopen stuff? You want to tell vaccinated people they don't have to wear masks? I know how weird it is for me to be looking at the CDC and their guidances and the US health officials, blah, blah, blah. I know how weird it is for me to be on the opposite side of that after literally telling you follow, follow, follow. But I can at least say if there's science on that behalf to make them make that decision, they need to word it better. The whole problem I've had with the CDC since the beginning, which I could easily agree with any right-winger on without going into the rabbit hole of the vaccine has a chip in it, is the messaging for all of this stuff has been so confusing that I can honestly understand people becoming paranoid of what they're hearing. Because this is a once-in-a-lifetime event, hopefully. And I can get the mixed messages and who you're supposed to follow alongside the bad faith actors who harp on that to spread more disinformation. I can understand that. And that's where I can be partial. That's where I could be, you know, I could be partial. I could do that. I could do that. But ayo though, like, hold on. 'Cause you really are telling me right now either a lot of people are going to think that the pandemic is over, or a lot of people are about to realize that the pandemic has not ended yet. And yes, those are two different things. Anyway, I just wanted to react to this because this was just caught me off guard. If people want to know other people's medical information, they could go be a nurse or doctor. I'm not knowing about your drug use. I'm not knowing about your hyperthyroidism. I'm like, oh my God, it's like if somebody bleeds every third day out of their nose and the people keep freaking out, do you think that the person can just hold their nose with a nosebleed and be like, I don't have to tell you anything, it just happens? Like, could we at least know why it happens so we can prep for it? Like, that's not what this is. I'm not looking at your records and seeing your blood type, like, type shit. I'm not seeing your private heart information, bro. Just tell me if you got the shot or not. Be honest. Yo, it's like in the same sense you want to say it doesn't matter if I got the shot or not. Against people who will say I got the shot. Like just say you didn't get the shot and deal with however society chooses to do it. Nobody's infringing on your right. You should just go with the people who agree with you. Like you're making that decision, not us. If you're unvaccinated and not scared of COVID and it kills you, like I can't have the talk with you about how like, damn, you should have listened to us. How many stories have you heard just as of late where it's like people thought it was some bullshit, then God is like, yo, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I'm sorry for my like you keep seeing that. Come on. Universities of school. Oh my God. Then we get into the immunization cards for children. Like literally, I'm aware. I don't care. Then don't complain. Segregation. Totally cool when it's the left doing it. Biden has always been a segregationist, so it doesn't surprise me his voters are too, just based on different reasons. Segregation. You see how people get that? You see how people... good. People have a right to privacy. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is going on here? Oh my God. No, it's not. You see how deep a rabbit hole you could get into if you just click one of these. Oh my God. Right. My child, then this is the other side of the messaging I was talking about. My child must be vaxxed against chickenpox, which had a death rate of 1 in 100,000, but no guidance on COVID or even requirements. Someone make it make sense. This is the take. Or how those unvaccinated should still be distanced in schools. Should we be, again, looking at class lists, create vaccinated and non-vaccinated classrooms? The physical setup is very different. If not, teachers will be on their own. See what I mean about, okay, and this is where we can end this segment. Do you see what I'm talking about messaging? You can have skepticism. Holy shit. I thank God I just saw that because now I can finally like nail this in the coffin. You can have skepticism. That's not ever an issue. It's not ever a thing where it's like you don't have to have the hardcore conspiracy skepticism, or even own that some people who might agree with what you say also hold like the weird skeptic like way of moving. Like that's okay. What I'm saying to you is like don't fall into that hole. Skepticism is like, okay, what do we do with this information? Does it help us? Is it just meaningless stuff that we have to decipher on our own? But like to go into the whole idea of like, oh, Biden's America and this is segregationist. You see how that's fringe? But right skepticism is, okay, so let's help the teachers. What do we do to move forward with the information that you gave us that allows us to actually put in place a plan that saves people? Because if you're going to change the rules, you need to change I'm doing the Ben Shapiro thing. It's so infuriating because it's that same mantra over and over and over and over again. And I don't know how to escape that. Like, goddamn, bro. Like, that's just terrible. And it's like, there's where you say, okay, why is the CDC saying this? You see the amount of people who are like, I'm going to stay masked up. I don't know if I can pass it on to somebody who wants to be unvaccinated and doesn't care about putting other people in danger. So I'm going to do the job for you again. Like, that's where we at. Where, like, again, the moral people have to keep putting their best foot forward and doing what they believe is best, while other people are just literally going to sit there and say, oh, well, you know, I don't really care that much. You know, it's not that big a deal. You do what you want to do. I'll do what I want to do. And like, we have to let the chips fall because at this point, it's like been a year and change, a full year and some change. Damn. If this, that was weird. If this doesn't like force it at this point, then nothing will. Like, nothing will. And that's what I say about people too. Like, if you're gonna do the same thing over and over again and nothing changes, I can't expect that I'm gonna make a breakthrough for you. Like, you have to experience that pain. Like now you have to go through it. You got to go through it.